Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Hi. But I can see a big B. I can see a big B, which I'm presuming is you. Oh, okay.
No, doctor. Good afternoon, doctor. This is Dr. Rekha Ramachandran.
Dr. Rekha is, yeah. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Dr. Rekha. How are you?
Yes, we just wanted to welcome you. Thank you so much for taking up this case. And honestly, I think everybody is very confused about vision just now because, it's like we are mostly on the iPads and iPhones and screen time with the children. And I think that's worrying a lot of people. So I thought this would make a lot of sense to talk at this time. So thank you once again. And I'll hand over to Dr. Suresh to take over. Thank you, doctor.
Good afternoon. Are we ready to begin? Hello. Can we begin?
मिल गया
ये आया नगर पे अर्जुनगढ़ मेट्रो स्टेशन है
आ गया
Again,
Hello, can we begin? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. You can start now.
Okay,
Thank
right.
you,
Thank you. Yeah. Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to meet you all again. And today, the pleasure is very unique because I would like to introduce Dr. Nikhil Rishikeshi, who is a practicing eye surgeon and a pediatric ophthalmologist with over 23 years of experience. He's from Pune. He has a fellowship in pediatric ophthalmology, and he also has his diploma in ophthalmic medical sciences again from Institute of Medical Sciences, Dhoni. He worked in AIIMS, New Delhi, to work with the most reputed and experienced wing surgeon in India. He has performed more than 5,000 successful pediatric eye surgeries. He also worked in the UK in Birmingham Children's Hospital, and he has presented international papers in the American Academy of Ophthalmology. He specializes in pediatric eye care, phaco surgery, squint surgery, nystagmus, amblyopia, and stitchless cataract surgery. He is a member of the American Academy of Ophthalmology, Maharashtra, and Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society. He has been associated with the Down Syndrome Federation of India since 2018, and he was a speaker in the last vision topic of vision at India in the International Down Syndrome Conference at Pune. Those of you who had listened to him would know about the depth of knowledge which he has and how he can make it very, very simple for all of us to understand the issue of eye and Down syndrome. I hand over the mic to Dr. Nikhil Rishikesh to tell us something about Down syndrome and eye problems. Dr. Nikhil, after that, we already have a number of questions, which I'm sure must have been sent to you. So we would like request a lot of time we have made available for people to clear up their doubts. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for such a lovely introduction, and thank you for introducing me to the lovely bunch of people out here. And it's always great to address such an august gathering out here. I do remember the previous time that we met all of you all the parents of the federation. That was like was already mentioned 2 years ago, and I think it's a very memorable session that we had at that time. And hence, whenever I'm invited for this noble cause, it's always a privilege to be here. So thank you so much for having me here. Without further ado, I think I'll just go ahead and we'll start a presentation for ophthalmic manifestations. Is this, I hope this is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, great. So,
go into slideshow mode, please.
Yeah, is that fine?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So essentially the slides are quite similar to what were for the last one, but I have added a little bit, edited a little bit more. And I just found this lovely picture of this lovely child with a lot of color on her hands and making the whole thing very colorful. So let's set off at a very nice sort of a good mood, a colorful mood. I hope everyone benefits from this presentation. I'm going to try my level best to answer each and every question possible. So I'll just begin now. Thank you so much. So as we know the basic about the Down syndrome. It's trisomy 21, most common chromosomal abnormality that is encountered. Incidence is 1 in 700 roughly, but frequency rises with the rise in maternal age. We know the typical features that children present with. Now it is absolutely essential. What happens is mostly any child that is born does not get an eye examination very, very early in life. And I'm talking about every child, any child. So it is absolutely essential that within the first 6 weeks, every child, including our Down's child, gets the first eye examination by the first 6 weeks to rule out whether there is any leukocoria. What we mean by leukocoria, leuko means white, coria is the pupil. So any white reflex in the pupillary area, which could be a cataract, which could be any other abnormality. Nowadays, retinopathy of prematurity is on the rise. So all of that needs to be identified as early as possible in life. So because I just revisited my talk that is on YouTube, thanks to you guys. And I think I have stressed the main thing that I've stressed the last time as well as this one I'm going to do is the timely intervention. I mean, nothing is more important than the time at which we intervene. Hence, the first 6 weeks, if we can find out, and if we get a congenital cataract, because 6 to 7% of children with Downs may have congenital cataracts. Generally, they are in both eyes, and there is nothing to be scared about. Congenital cataracts are very, very easily managed. Of course, taking due care, because the main risk factor is a general anesthesia, but that goes fine and the surgery goes perfectly, amazingly fine. and the child sees beautifully, and gradually the vision development starts. So, like I said, we have to see in the first 6 weeks. Now, the Down syndrome we know can affect the eyes, the development of the eyes, which in turn affects the vision. So, more than 50% of these kids can have something or the other which is related to the vision or the eyes, which may be as mild as maybe a tearing, that means watering problem, to early onset cataracts, which may be vision threatening. That is why there is a certain schedule that is followed about how often one should get the child checked. So and this is obviously in a good setup where there is a pediatric ophthalmology setup. It should be a specialized pediatric ophthalmology setup, because the whole scene changes. It is a totally different game examining adults or teenagers and examining these small, lovely children. It's a totally different game. So what we do in our department is we play with the children, basically, and we try and get whatever information we can. So it's very important. Now, first check, like I said, is per to 6 weeks. The next one would be 6 months to 24 months. So between 6 months to 2 years, we would like to go ahead and do the first official detailed sort of an eye check, wherein you look for an estimation of the vision. So we have different pediatric visual acuity charts that are specific for children. So obviously we don't expect the child to tell us what is what. So we look at the reaction and we look at the response of the child when we are showing the various charts and the cards to the children. And then based on the response, we can gauge the visual acuity to a very, very accurate level. So all of that needs to be done. And we also try and look at whether the child needs spectacles. So there is, let us not be surprised if all children nowadays, we have to check for glasses onset, because early onset refractive errors, that means the need for spectacles, is obviously on the rise thanks to all the gadgets. So we have to take a look at whether there is a minus number or plus number or a cylindrical number. After that, at about 3.5 to 4 years, we do a more detailed check where we look for the squints, we look for, again, the refractive errors and a higher sort of estimation of visual acuity. That means how much the child can really see. The next check we would like to do at just the school age, where the child is going to enter, maybe the first standard and all of that. So, and then we keep on repeating after every year if there is no need for a frequent checkup, like in squints or in lazy eyes, that is amblyopias, or if there is something else, we would like to see at a more frequent sort of interval. If everything is perfect, then we look at them maybe once a year. And of course, after that also, we have to keep looking at least once a year till the age of 15 or 16. Now, we do know that there is the kids have, the children have slightly flattened noses, shortened depth from the eye socket to the ear. Hence, all of this affects the position of the glasses. So the glasses keep slipping down off their tiny little petite noses. And so that has to be ensured. The position is very important, because if the child is looking over the glasses, that doesn't really work, because then again, it's not happening. So it's a very small but very practical point. All of the parents, please try and ensure that the glasses are well positioned. So if not, you can have rubber bands or elastic bands attached to the glasses from behind with Velcro straps attached to it, so that you can adjust the tightness of the glasses so that they don't keep sliding down. Now, another small problem that is present with the kids is a difficulty in accommodation. Now, accommodation is the function of both the eyes that are used together in order to focus very clearly on near. For example, if we are looking at a distance, maybe we are looking at a television set, or we're looking and talking to one of our relatives at home, and suddenly you want to look at a cell phone or a book or whatever you're reading or whatever, that change in focus from distance to near, this is what is done by the function of accommodation. Now, 75%, up to 75% of children with Downs have a little bit of a problem with this focusing or the accommodation. Hence, many a times you will see that even though there may not be refractive errors or very significant refractive errors, that means the glasses number may not be too high, but you might see children trying to go close to the book or trying to change their position, head position here and there, trying to focus on what is written in books or on tabs or whatever they're scribbling or coloring. So this is an accommodation problem. One of the questions was like this: is that there isn't a significant number, but the child keeps going close. What is the reason? It could be very well be an accommodation or focusing problem, you know. So, and it's very easily managed by just giving something known as a bifocal glass. That means an addition that is given for near reading, and that comes incorporated in the same glass. So you don't need a separate pair of glasses for it. Or nowadays we are going with progressive glasses. That also can be done. Now, what are the very commonest signs of vision problems that the parents can look at home? The first and foremost is whether there is a squint present. So it's not uncommon to have almost 30 to 40% of children, up to 50%, can have a little bit of squint. So is the child closing one eye? So the child will do that if there is a focusing problem. This is called binocular single vision. That means the ability of both eyes to focus on a single object at various distances. So if that is not happening, for example, with a squint or with a lazy eye or with a cylindrical number only in one eye or difference in number in both eyes, then the child will try and ignore, or the brain will try and ignore the image of the poorer eye. Please try and understand that if the images of both the eyes, the images that are formed on the retina and transferred to the brain, are not overlapping well, then the child will not be happy, because there will be two images. One will be clear and one will be slightly less clear or unclear or blurry. So the brain takes the responsibility and it just suppresses the image of the image that is blurry or less clear. Hence, the child will close one eye at times, or this suppression will occur at a cerebral, cortical level, at brain level. So without even closing the eye, sometimes the child will be the only image. I think there is something going on here with the zoom. Anyways, so the closing of one eye will happen. Sometimes there is an unusual head tilt that happens. So again, the child tries to clarify the image by just tilting the head. Crossing or wandering of one or both eyes. That means crossing means the squint again. Wandering of one or both eyes can also be classified or defined as a nystagmus, which is typically an unsteady movement of the eyes, a continuous constant movement of the eyes to and fro, which is because of some visual problem that they don't get a good focus. So it's a searching movement. The child can have a little bit of light sensitivity, or because of an allergy or something. Ptosis is not very common in Downs. That means the drooping of a lid. The tearing or the discharge is quite common. Up to 10 to 12% of children may have watering of the eyes, one or both eyes. That continues after 1 or 2 years of age as well. I'll come to all of these in detail. So the common ophthalmic features, like we just mentioned, are high refractive errors. That means high numbers. They could be minus or plus or cylindricals. And amblyopia. Amblyopia is called a lazy eye. So basically what happens is, now let us talk about the high refractive error. So there is a very high chance that about 50% to 60% of children with Downs can have the need for glasses. And it's not a big deal. With the glasses, they will be seeing very well. So we don't have to panic. What happened and why is my kid needing glasses? It's fine. They have to accept, give the glasses. Hypermetropia, that is a plus lens or plus number, is slightly more common than the minus number in Downs. Now with glasses, if the vision is good, excellent. But sometimes even with glasses, there could be an aspect of a lazy eye. That means the vision may be less even with the use of glasses. Now, so there is no other organic problem, but the child may see a little less. That is called an amblyopia. What is the strabismus? We just discussed. That is squint. I shall come to that later. Cataract, lacrimal duct obstruction, and blepharitis. Now, lacrimal duct obstruction, like I just mentioned, it is known as CNLDO. It is congenital nasolacrimal duct obstruction. That means the tube that connects the eyelids and opens into the nose. It drains the normal tear secretion If this tube gets blocked, which can happen almost in 30 to 35% cases, then the normal tear secretions don't drain into the nose and they pool in the eyelid, under the lid, inside the lid, in the lacrimal, the palpebral aperture. Now, this is very, very common, and you see these children complain, or the parents think that there's constant watering. So because it is not draining, this gets pulled up and sometimes gets secondarily infected by bacterial infection, and it causes sticky discharge. So there's nothing to worry. All you need to do is we need to give pressure on the lacrimal area, which is the spot where both the eyelids meet. Unfortunately, I've forgotten to put a picture of that spot. So the spot where both the eyelids meet on the nasal side, that is close to the nose, that is a spot where with our little finger cleaned, we have to give a certain amount of sustained pressure. So you press, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, release and press again, and you can continue this for about cycles. So you can keep doing this for 2 to 3 minutes, 4 or 5 times a day. That is all we need to do. So the increase in the hydrostatic pressure in the sac just increases the pressure downside, which may open the block that is there in the duct. And this very commonly, it gets cleared up. So that's all that needs to be done. But if this obstruction persists beyond 1.5 years of age, sometimes a small wire needs to be passed through that duct so as to open it up. And that is also a very safe procedure, nothing to worry about. But you cannot let too much water stay inside the eye. That means the eyes are constantly tearing or watering. The image will not be very clear. And that itself is a cause for amblyopia or lazy eye. So that is why you have to take care. For example, I'm wearing glasses. So if I go out and walk in the rain and there is water on my lenses or glasses, I won't be able to see clearly. But if that happens in a small child, then that can be a cause for amblyopia or lazy eye. So be careful. Take immediate consultation from a pediatric ophthalmologist. Blepharitis is also super common. Blepharitis means because of the epicanthal folds and the slightly different structure of both the eyelids in both the eyes, sometimes the lid hygiene gets affected. And what happens is there is constant debris formation, or sometimes flakes form on the roots, at the roots of the lashes. And it is seen as white flakes or whitish material that begins at the root of the lashes. And that is also very common. All we need to do is we need to keep the lids very clean. You can have lukewarm water, add a little bit of Johnson's baby shampoo in it, use cotton to rinse and clean both the eyelids, upper and lower in both the eyes, 3 times a day. That is all you need to do. That will clear. So this was another question that was there. The constant watering, tearing, that was one question. And the lids was another question. So this is all we need to do. All right. So this is too much of a monologue. I mean, is this, am I audible? Is everyone with me?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Audible. Okay, good.
If you can
Now,
speak a little louder, it will be better, or closer to the mic.
Okay. Sure. That's good. Is this loud enough? Yeah, is this loud enough?
Yes, okay, sir.
Okay. So we just come down to a little bit about refractive errors, slightly more details, because this is what is going to be the commonest sort of thing that we are going to deal with for our children. The refractive errors, so what happens is the refractive errors will be slightly more common in these children than in others. Nothing to worry. Yes, the only thing is we need to ensure that the glasses stay on the nose at the right spot. The eyes should be at the center of the lens. Please remember that, because the number is the most accurate at the center of the lens. At the sides, up and down, it is a little less accurate, the grinding. Okay. So there is a high prevalence of hyperopia, that means plus number, and astigmatism, that means a cylindrical number, and higher magnitude of refractive error compared to age-matched controls. there is the higher numbers, that means one, there is more incidence of numbers, plus the numbers will be slightly higher in children with Downs than in normals because of the slightly difference in the length, actual length of the eye. All we need to give is glasses at the right time. So that is why I had given the schedule of when we need to check and how we need to check. Okay. Almost 80% of children will have outside normal limit number. That's why they need to be dependent on the glasses. The hypermetropia, that is plus numbers, are almost to the range of between 5 and 65%. But I've always seen more than 40-50% are plus numbers, and up to 30-40% are minus numbers. Like I mentioned earlier, there is poor accommodation ability in about 75% of these kids. That means they will have a little bit of a problem focusing for near. So if we are noticing that these our children are going too close or unable to read or unable to write between two lines or unable to start off where they left off or unable to start at the right point, or if they go oblique or slanting and they don't keep the line, or while coloring they don't stay between the margins, this may be a very small sort of a problem which gets corrected very easily. So all the research says that before 1 year of age, there is no significant difference in the prevalence of refractive errors when compared to age-matched controls. So emmetropization is a normal process that happens in every child. That means in the first year of life, every child has at least a +3 or a +4 number, at least by the end of 1 year. At the start of 1 year, it's almost 9 and 10 plus. It gradually goes on reducing, and by the age of 1 or 1.5 years, this plus number almost disappears. So in the first year of life, all children are not going to be able to see properly. The problem occurs in kids with Downs after 1 year. That means this myopization or the reduction in a plus number does not happen as desired. Hence, we see more plus numbers, and that is why the need for glasses. Now, astigmatism is just a cylindrical number. It is very common and easily corrected. But the only problem with cylindrical numbers is if not corrected or given in time, it can cause more lazy eye. That is why it is more important that we do it. Now, the squint, this was also one of the questions that was sent to me, that ESO deviation or the convergent squint. So is it ESO deviation or convergent squint is more common than EXO. As you can see in this picture, the ESO means that the eye is towards the nose. You see the right eye here, it is towards the nose. It is not in the center. And the left eye is not squinting, it is looking straight. So the problem is in the right eye. Now, why do we think that both eyes are squinting in this? That is because of these epicanthal folds out here. There's lid folds that are there. So this gives an impression of pseudo squint or pseudo strabismus. But in this case, this child does have convergent squint in the right eye. And this epicanthus resolves on its own by the end of 4 or 5 years. So that doesn't need, so every apparent squint may not be true. That is why you need to go to the pediatric ophthalmologist. Some studies in Korean children also said that exotropia, that means divergent squints, were more common. Now, about the treatment, squint is not only a cosmetic problem. We need to understand this very important point, that it is not just a cosmetic problem. The problem is not that parents get unhappy that their kids are not looking straight in photographs, or a cosmetic problem, or somebody's teasing them. That is a secondary problem. The prime problem is if both eyes are not aligned and not looking straight at the same time, then their ability to focus on one point at the same time is lost. And this is known as depth perception or three-dimensional vision or 3D vision. So nowadays we have 3D movies in theaters when they were functioning. Right now they're not. But so when we put on the 3D glasses, children with squint will not appreciate the 3D movies because they don't have 3D vision. For example, if surgeons or doctors did not have 3D vision or depth perception, they would not be able to understand at what depth they are operating. Same with everyone who has fine skills, tailoring, paint artists. so many color, whoever are coloring, in everything, depth perception is very important. That is why squint needs to be corrected at the right time, and that is before 6 years of age. After that, it becomes just a cosmetic surgery. By 6 years, if we correct the squint, then the child will get the benefit of a binocular single vision. That means depth perception or stereopsis. Please understand this. It's very important. Now, nystagmus is another common condition wherein the eyes keep moving side to side. Some of us must have seen this. It is not very, very common. It is 3 to 33% has been noted here, but I have not seen it in more than 15 or 20% of cases, which is not less, but it is not very high. The reason for nystagmus is it's a wandering fixation. That means the eyes keep moving, looking for a steady focus. And since they can't find it, these searching movements are very, very rapid, frequent movements of both eyes together. And it's in the horizontal. That means in the side to side movement, not up and down. This has been associated with lesser visual acuity. That means there is some problem in focusing or visual acuity. They can't see clearly. Images are not formed clearly on the retina and hence the brain. That is why the eyes don't stay steady. And this is nystagmus. So we need to go back, find out what is the reason for that. Most of these can benefit with just glasses of the correct number at the correct time, and occlusion or patching therapy that we give for lazy eye or amblyopia. Few of them need surgery, which is very safe, and surgery will help. 80 to 90% will be cured with surgery. So nothing to worry. Time again is very, very important. Now we just spoke about the eyelids and the mid-face. That means that upward slanting, that means the outer margin is slightly higher, about 1 or 2 mm higher than the nasal. That is why it's called a mongoloid slant. Large epicanthal folds may be there. The ones on top of these folds, epicanthal, and they in childhood they give an impression of pseudo squint. Blepharitis, like I mentioned, is very common. Lacrimal duct obstructions, all of these things have to be addressed at the right time, and they're fairly easy to do so. Now, keratoconus is something that is coming up nowadays, and it is mostly because of frequent and very, very vigorous rubbing of the eyes because of blepharitis. So blepharitis has to be managed with, like I said, lukewarm water, Johnson's baby shampoo, little bit. We have to put sterile cotton, wash our hands, take up the cotton and scrub the eyelids very, very clearly. It's really important, okay? Because keratoconus can cause other problems like high cylindrical numbers, which causes obscuration or blurring of the vision. And then a lot of things need to be done to manage the keratoconus. Keratoconus generally is a progressive condition. You can see in the picture here, this cone that is seen out here, right? This is the cone. Now, it shouldn't be a cone. It should normally be a sphere. It should not be protruding like that. Brush field spots are spots on the iris, these white or gray spots that we are seeing here. These spots that are seen here, they don't have much significance other than they just look a little different. But if there is some extension into the angle, we need to check later on so that it is not a glaucoma or pressure doesn't increase. Cataracts, very, very important. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes on it. Children may be born with cataracts very commonly, and we are operating so many children, not just down, so many children with they're born with cataracts. So we need to, you can see the white spots in both eyes here very clearly. So these are cataracts that need to be surgically removed at the right time. So about 2 months is the time, cutoff time. Before 2 months, we generally don't operate, but at 2 months, we have to operate if the child is born with cataract, because that is a critical period. After that, again, 2 to 3 months, after that, it becomes difficult. So at that time, you cannot implant lens in the eye. If it is in both eyes, we prefer not to put an intraocular lens. We prefer to give them glasses. So that was another question that was asked. A child was operated at 3 months of age, and I think a +10 glasses have been given to the child. So so the surgery is the first step. Please understand. What should have happened at birth did not happen because the cataracts were present. So the visual process or visual stimulation has not occurred. That starts later, 2 to 3 months after birth. So that critical period is lost. Now, in order to build that up, it takes a lot of exercise. That means patching therapy, vision therapy, use of glasses. Only using glasses for half an hour or 1 hour is absolutely not enough. I know that these children may not be happy putting on glasses. The glasses are also quite heavy, but you get a very soft material glasses nowadays. What material? Silicon glass. Yeah, they're called silicon frames. So they are very flexible. They actually go 180 degrees and below also, very light. So the kids do not get irritated or they are not irritable with those glasses. So see if you can get silicon frames. These are very helpful. And along with that, in consultation with your pediatric ophthalmologist, you need to start patching therapy or occlusion therapy, alternate eye. So one day, one eye has to be patched for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on the severity of the lazy eye. You cannot do it on your own, please. And the other day you patch the other eye. So I can see AZ has raised a hand. Please go ahead. Please go ahead and ask the question.
Hello?
Sir, there is this Vandana Sharma. I think she raised her hand.
Oh, okay.
You might have to unmute her.
Okay.
Sir, I think we can continue and ask the questions in the end.
I think we should have the questions at the end. I'm waiting for I've got a lot of questions already lined up. So we'll wait for the answer. You finish your talk. We are not able to hear you, sir. You need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself, sir. Yeah. That's fine.
Oh. Fine. So, like I said, the cataract surgery is just the first step. It is not a miracle. So it doesn't mean that once the child gets operated, the child is not going to start seeing 100% normally. It is just the first step on which we have to build up. Please understand and remember this, okay? And it is definitely not a hopeless situation. All of these children are going to see amazingly well. Understand that. But it will take a little bit more time because we are starting a little late. So, and you have to be a little more vigorous and rigorous with whatever treatments are told, explained, patching therapy, everything. Glasses used for half an hour, 1 hour in a day is totally ineffective. It is not helpful. Please look for the silicone frame that I mentioned. It sits very well on the eyes and it has a small elastic or a band at the back, which does not press into the child's head. So the child will be very comfortable. Please understand. The retina, I don't think we need to go into that. So the various ocular abnormalities were, like I mentioned, the upward slants, epicanthal folds, astigmatism, that means the cylindrical numbers, strabismus, that means squint, about 32%. The lacrimal system obstruction, that means constant watering or tearing, about 20-22%, and blepharitis, that is the lid problems. Cataract, of course, needs to be addressed, very, very important and very, very timely, and all the refractive errors and lazy eye. Now, this is something which I have added for this talk because vision therapy with or without eyeglasses is a highly effective modality in treating lazy eye, squint, and other functional visual problems that come very commonly in any children, not just those with Down. So understand that this will not take care, or this will not treat the squint or treat the cataract, or it will not treat any other problem. But whatever lazy eye is there, or whatever amblyopia is there, or difficulty in focusing is there, convergence problem is there, all of that gets helped with the vision therapy. Now, what is vision therapy? I've got a few pictures that I'm going to show you. each vision therapy program is personalized to the need of individual patient. So it is different for almost every child. Includes a lot of therapeutic activities to retrain the eye and brain connection, and it improves the visual skills that are necessary for a clear binocular vision. So everything, please understand, revolves around binocular vision. That means seeing one object or one target at the same time with both eyes. Until and unless our eyes are going to do that, we won't have depth perception. And without depth perception, we are going to just see in one plane. That is never enough. So children may have problems when they are running or walking. It's difficult to differentiate the highs and the lows. That means wherever there is, for example, a speed breaker on the road, or there is a khadda on the road. So that is up and down. So that is depth perception. Please understand. Okay. The wearing of the appropriate frames and lenses together with vision therapy may enhance your child's skills and significantly improve their overall quality of life. It's really, really helpful. These are small games basically that are going to be used as vision therapy. And of course, there is a VTS that we'll talk about in brief. Generally, these kids exhibit very strong visual learning skills. And this is the best part about children with Downs, that they are very inquisitive. They're very curious. They want to use their visual system to understand new things, and they're constantly on the lookout for something that is going to interest their brain, you know. So these visual learning skills have to be used for their benefit. Very important. And that is going to help their depth perception improvement, hand-eye coordination, and that gives better cognition. Okay. This is the basis of visual learning and rehabilitation. Now you can see this child here trying to put these rings on various blue rods that are sitting, plastic. Now this is of hand-eye coordination. It may seem very easy, but initially it is not very easy for the child. Now these are others that small, you can see the upper left upper picture, wherein this infant is also looking at this small, this is vision therapy for the child. Colors, different color balls, and it's a ring, so it's going to make some sound. So child is trying to focus on that, you know, that's really important. Now here, again, this is an activity, various colored these things are there. You will try to play and fit them together. Very important. Look at these shapes. This girl is trying to, play with these different shapes. These are all forms of vision therapy. Now this very intelligent girl looking with full concentration at the screen. I just loved this picture. And now this is the vision VTS4, or this is what is the in thing. And I think one of the questions was also related to vision therapy. So VTS is the vision therapy software, commercially available. Everybody does not have access to it. It is not very inexpensive, but it does give all of these sporty apps, games, you know, that the child can focus on and play. It's like a game, and you try and make both the images together. And there are various levels, and it has to be done with, it's called a dioptic therapy. It comes with the glasses, separate glasses for binocular vision. Now you don't have to go, everyone doesn't have to have a VTS4. You know, it's not very easily available yet in India. We have a lot of apps that are present in our cell phones. May it be Android, may it be Apple. You will have a lot of vision therapy apps. Look for those apps, find those apps, you decide which ones are good. You will see at least 10, 20 good apps, and show your children bit by bit with both eyes open. It is not going to harm the child's eyes. Adjust the illumination to maybe 50%, the screen illumination. That is important. Don't ever give the phone or the tab or your this thing to your child with full illumination. That is really important. I'm going to talk about screen time in a bit. So these are the very simple. Now look at this child playing with the colors. I just loved this, the way she was, you know, enjoying. Very colorful. And these are again a little advanced. So very important. These vision therapy apps, go for them. So the visual prognosis in Down syndrome is always excellent. Always. There's no two ways about it. There is no cause to worry. But all we need to do is all come together, and we need to take care. We don't need to worry, but we do need to take care. And I thank you for your time. That ends my talk.
Thank you, sir, for that lucid talk. We now have a huge set of questions which have come up.
Sure.
If you can stop sharing your screen, and I will project the questions on the screen.
Sure. One second.
For you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
सीधा कुंदरेनु
How many people are attending?
Are able to, right now we have about 70 people, sir.
Wow.
Are able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Poonam Ahuja. She has said her son is 8 years old, has shaky eyes since birth. Shakiness has reduced a lot with time. He has squint in both eyes, but convergent squint in right eye more prominent. Hypermetropic eye, and then she's given the parameters. But as sitting on one on chair, approximately 1-2 hours because of his throwing behaviors. Guide me what to do.
Correct. So the first thing that I already mentioned, so this is nystagmus. Shakiness means nystagmus because of unsteady fixation. The eyes don't have a steady focus, so they will keep moving. Okay. Now what we need to, and the squint is also there, convergent, which is very common. The right eye is prominent means it is a dominant eye. That means one eye is suppressed. That means the right is a stronger eye than the left eye. Now the glasses wearing time needs to be increased as much as possible. So for that, you need to encourage the child by giving various exercises or games that child can use, or little bit of screen time is also allowed from a distance. You know, you have to help with the child. I tell many a times, make it a game. So even the parents can wear glasses with 0 number lenses. So the child thinks that it's a game or it is fine to be wearing glasses. So that also you can probably do. But along with this, the child will need occlusion therapy or patching therapy. That means you can cover one eye at least for half an hour or 1 hour. One day you cover the right eye, the other day you cover the left eye with glasses on top and something to do. The child needs to do something for near, whatever the child likes. An 8-year-old child would like to write or color or do something like that. So that exercise will help more than just sitting, for 1 or 2 hours is very less. So I think all of this will help.
The next question is, my daughter is 4 years old. She gets infection for eyes often. Can you please guide how to avoid this? What foods I can include in the diet? She doesn't have any issue with vision till now.
Sure. So now infection in the eyes can be of 2 types. One is the common one that I mentioned, the blepharitis. That means the eyelids, the child keeps itching or scratching the eyelids or rubbing the eyelids because there are those white flakes at the bases of the lashes. So I already mentioned what is to be done, the Johnson's baby shampoo in the lukewarm water. If there is infection inside the eye, that means if the eyes are watery constantly with sticky discharge, then it is the lacrimal duct obstruction that I mentioned. So at age 4 years, it is not going to go, that obstruction, if it is there in the duct. So you need to get it, probably a wire needs to be passed. You have to consult a pediatric ophthalmologist. But, and if it is just the blepharitis, the lid problem, it will be taken care of with what I said. About the diet, it's a usual vitamin A rich diet. You can have green leafy vegetables, papayas, carrots, nothing special.
Yes, sir. Okay, now our daughter Ashwati
Correct.
has underwent congenital cataract surgery 3rd month, whereby both her lenses have been removed. She has nystagmus as well. Ever since she's been wearing power glasses +10 on each eye, she squinted her eyes whenever she threw away her spectacles. Her eyes are a bit squinted at present. At times, she keeps on poking her eyes with her fingers, perhaps to focus properly. Though she picks up objects looking straight at them, she looks straight at us looking at her. Instead, she moves her eyes to extreme left or extreme right and looks at us sideways. How can we make her focus on people straight? Is this condition of eyes the cause of delay in developing cognitive skills?
Right. So this was the case that I mentioned that the child was operated at 3 months of age. So she was operated at the right time. That is a good part. Now, plus 10, like I said, is never going to be easy. But try and look for the silicone frames, which are very, 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 very child friendly. And that will be that the child will just be very happy wearing them. And they're all colored, very beautifully colored lenses. And poking of the eyes, perhaps to focus, but that should not be encouraged because that would change the curvature of the eye. You have to distract the child, try and distract all the time. Now, why does she look towards the extreme left or right? That is just to get a clear focus. And sometimes with the moving or nystagmus or the squint, the straight ahead gaze clarity is lesser than from sides. So there might be some amount of cylindrical number. So if the correct refractive error correction is given, that means a number, she may look straight. Plus, the occlusion therapy is needed, the patching therapy.
Yes, thank you, sir. Now, Chaitali Shah, her daughter Angel, 7 years old, is having high power, 16 and 17 of specs. They started to keep on specs from 2 months. They're advised to make specs of low power from which she can see clearly around 5 feet. This way, her eyes will get used to see far. Firstly, she got to use it with 10 on the left side and 12 on the right side. Now we upgraded it with 2 more, but still facing a few problems as undone. Her pupil constantly moves slightly, which may cause difficulty in focus and though in writing. She can write numbers and letters, but we have to hold her hand to put from where to start. If she writes by herself, she can't start exactly from a given point. Also, difficulty in size. Is there anything we can do to improve her vision?
So I'm presuming this is all minus numbers because minus 16 and minus 17 and plus 16 is unheard of. So unless it is surgical. So I'm presuming that this is a minus number. So yes, it was a very high number, which the child has needed at a very young age, which is 2 months. So it was a very smart thing to do that gradually the number has been stepped up. I think at age 7, the child should be getting full correction, not partial correction, and high index glasses. High index glasses means that the refractive index of the lens in the spectacles, the refractive index is increased. That decreases the thickness of the lens. So even with a 16 or a 17, 18 number, with a high refractive index, the thickness goes down. So the weight also goes down, and any spherical aberration that the lens itself gives, that is also taken care of. So the child will be happier wearing glasses with a high index. So please get that. High index glasses is what you need for your child, and everything else will be sorted. Yes, the eyes are moving and all, that is all nystagmus because the focus is unclear. Patching again is going to help in this case. Now, there was a pop-up question which said, how much patching should be done? That is always case dependent. Minimum is an hour, 1 hour, but we have given patching up to whole day and all, which you all can't do on your own. So 1 to 2 hours is safe, alternate day. One eye today, the other eye tomorrow, with the glasses on top. Can they watch TV? Yes, for a small, maybe half an hour. Then take breaks. You can't allow them to watch TV for a couple of 2 hours at a stretch. Half an hour, 40 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes in various, with breaks in between. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Lalita Joshi from Nepal. My son is 28 years old, Down syndrome, has congenital estropia, residual with amblyopia. Operated for convergent alternating squint in 2010. Bilateral resection of medial rectus 5 millimeters.
Bilateral recession.
Yes, sir. Did well for a few years, but recurrence in 2018, eye check as per yearly routine. The doctor did not prescribe any specs. He frequently uses left eye to watch TV or read. Constant reminder has to be given to use both eyes. He's been advised VTS. I could not make him use glasses since childhood, no matter how much we tried. What's your expert opinion and further advice? Question too long, put it up if feasible, otherwise no worries.
Yeah, it is. The question is too long, but it is so relevant. So I think it's important that we discuss this. No problems at all with the length of the question here. So yes, the child, he was operated at a young age, but probably at that time, the vision, that means the glasses should have been given in childhood, and the occlusion or the patching therapy to improve the lazy eye or amblyopia. So if the vision in the right eye is not as good as that in the left eye, or it is a lazy eye, that is why the he frequently uses the left eye. So the right eye vision is probably poorer than the left eye. And that is why both eyes are not in the center or focused. So you need to take a look at whether the child needs glasses, whether the boy needs glasses in the right eye, and a repeat surgery can be done as well. VTS will help even at this age, believe me. Get him to do it, no problem. Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Which is mother of Anbar, she's 5 years old. She used to rub her eyes often. Don't know whether the hair falls into her eyes or any other problem, but he used to clip her hairs properly nowadays, but still keep on rubbing her eyes. I've not taken power test yet, though it was thought of taking in summer vacation, but got locked out. Waiting for suggestions.
Yeah. So the commonest cause for small children, young children rubbing their eyes is, like I said, blepharitis. That means inflammation or itching because of the eyelids. So look at the eyelids. Are there whitish material at the base of the lashes? Go ahead with the Johnson's thing. If there is dandruff in the hair, take care of that. Yes, there could be a small refractive error that is waiting to be corrected, because that also the child will rub the eyes to make the image clear. So as soon as you can, please take your child to a pediatric ophthalmologist and get the number checked.
Okay. Rajni Gadwakar wants to know, my child is afraid of machine and doctors, and that's why he's not ready to get the eye test done. I'm facing a problem in getting his eye number. He's 14 years of age. Is there any technology that will help me?
Okay, so like I said, so we at our center, we do not wear white aprons because we don't want to come across as doctors to them. We do not put them on very scary machines. We will just play and interact with the children, and while doing that, we will get an estimate of whatever test we want to get done. So find a good pediatric ophthalmology setup. I'm sure they will take care of your child very, very effectively. But get it done, please.
Yes, sir. Now, right eye, Hoshmi Das, sir, right eye, spherical plus 1.25, cylindrical 1, axis 145, VA 6/9, left eye, spherical 1.75, cylindrical 1.25, axis 5, VA 6/9. Above is a glass prescription procured on March 10, 2020. Despite wearing glasses, he peers into the book or computer read. Many people have asked the same question, sir.
Correct.
After having glasses, they are peering into the book or computer.
Yes. So quite a few of these children, like I mentioned, have an accommodation or a focusing problem. So that is why they have to struggle to focus what is written or what is there in the book or the computer. But if the number is correct and a little bit of adjustment of the distance and a little bit of posture, it is difficult to advise posture to these children. But if you can ensure that the child is sitting up straight, and the accommodation is generally the problem. So at a good pediatric ophthalmology setup, they will try and give the near correction as well. But that is the last thing you want to do, not the first, because you don't want to take away the natural accommodation,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, Tuti Joshi, 18 years and 6 months, has one eye lazy. After trying all different numbers, she is unable to read after the 5th line of reading code. My ophthalmologist suggests below mentioned tablets to improve vision, which I have not bought yet, as I was not able to conclude whether such kind of tablet works or merely they prescribe for. Is there any exercise or drug to improve her sight? Is able to read, write, and watch TV and other daily activities?
Right. So like you have already mentioned, I think she is trying to do all of that with the dominant eye. So if the other eye is lazy, and how lazy, you're saying she's unable to read at the 5th line. So 5th line is pretty good anyways. It's a mild amblyopia or a lazy eye. You can try patching the good eye for 2 hours or 4 hours a day. Since she's 18 years, you can just close the better eye for 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and try and make her function with the weaker eye. That will help a lot. Tablets, they are a good sort of ancillary help. They cannot be the mainstay.
Yes.
But nothing wrong with taking tablets.
Yes, sir. My daughter does not like to wear glasses. She plays with it and throws it away. She also gets distracted in her studies and normally too, and tries to remove glasses. I am trying this since a year with no success. What shall I do? Please share diet recommendation for improving eyesight. People also claim with Triphala water, eye wash, the sight improves. Is it okay to try?
Yeah, so you try that, the Triphala water eye wash, and you tell us whether it works.
Exactly.
So no harm in doing it, but I don't know whether it helps. But I don't have any problems with our ancient modes of therapies. They were all scientific. So if it doesn't, just see that it is from a very authentic source. You can try it. I don't know if it helps. The food, like I mentioned, the diet with vitamin A-rich diet, nothing special. But you have to, like you said, she gets distracted in studies. So you have to try and make it as interesting as possible. That is all I can say.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
My kid master, Raghanesh is 2.5 years old with Down syndrome. Always water comes out of his right eye. At the time of birth, this problem was severe in both eyes. Now the same is confined to single eye. What kind of treatment is required?
So this is the lacrimal duct obstruction that I already mentioned. And see, it was there in both eyes. Now it's only in the right eye. So generally the duct, that means the tube, there is some block. And that is why there is pooling of water in the right eye. So you have to probably you have to try and get this wire passed, it is called probing. So probing needs to be done. And many times this is enough. So get that done and go to a good setup, get that done, it'll help for sure.
Yes, sir. So Amita Kapoor said Abhishek is 35 years old and has two issues for which I seek her advice. He has a cataract in both eyes. Is it advisable to get it corrected? He cannot read letters. Flash for testing his vision too. Testing for his vision. Second is
Right.
he also has a squint in one eye. What should I do to correct it?
Right. So the squint is because of the cataract. So the primary problem is the cataract, because since the vision is not very clear because of the cataracts, the eyes are not keeping straight. That is why they are deviating. So we have to treat the cataract. No two ways about it. He is 35 years of age. The surgery is going to go brilliantly. So please go and get the surgery done. If you are in Pune or close by, come to us. You will get the best surgery anywhere in the world. But get it done. It is really important. And maybe with the clarity of vision that comes with the cataract surgery, even the squint will disappear on its own. So get the surgery done, please.
Yes. Dr. Sheila from Andamans. My daughter Shreya is 15 years old. 2 years back when she got her eye checkup done, we were told that she has a white spot in the left eye. We were asked to put apamide eye drops in her left eye, which will allow her pupil to remain dilated. They said she might need an operation later on. I used apamide drops for a year, then stopped it as it was not available locally as well as online. She uses specs, but if we close her right eye, she is not able to read with her left eye.
Yeah. So I think this question is very well framed. It just gives the whole picture so nicely. So quite clearly, the child has a cataract in the left eye, and the cataract is restricted to the center. That is why, with the dilatation of the pupil, the child was able to see from the periphery. That means from the sides of the cataract. But like you already mentioned, you cannot put the child on this. This can only be a temporary measure. For example, there is a lockdown. What can you do? Okay, put apamide or put dilating eye drops for 2 months, 3 months, and after that we can operate. But left eye surgery is most important. Do not postpone it, because when the right eye is closed, she is not able to read. That itself is an indication that she needs surgery for the left eye.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Very clear, sir.
Thank you.
My daughter, when she sees something on a mobile, goes so near the screen, vision issues, power ruled out. Would like to know why this happens. In spite of no vision issues that require wearing glasses, would the specs help a child with Down syndrome reading or seeing with better clarity?
Yeah, so you said that there is no power, that means no refractive error. But this near vision problem is a little too common in children. No? Like I mentioned, it's there in about 75% of children. The accommodation, so you try and strengthen the eye muscles by doing various activities. That is the only thing that will help,
Yes.
It is an accommodation problem.
Sir, it's a general question. How can I take care of my son's eye? Is a 15-year-old outfit having high power?
Yeah, but high power means if it is a high power minus high power, then you have to get the retinas checked. It is very, very important. A dilated eye examination. and you have to look at the retinas that there is no tear or break. So please do that. And at age of 15, you don't have to worry too much because the number is not going to increase much. Just have the right, you can go in for a high index class like I mentioned.
Yes, sir. My daughter's name is Jessica. She's 7 years old. More than 6 months, she had a problem on the eyelid portion. Small white dots were found on the eyelid part. Day by day, it's increasing more. Attach the image for review. So here's the image.
Yeah.
While watching TV, she's not seeing straight. She's holding a specs that slightly side slightly and watching. Regularly, we're doing our eye test, but due to Corona, it's postponed.
Yeah. So this is the typical, this is the blepharitis that we are seeing. That means the inflammation at the roots of the eyelashes. So you try what I said, and this is a reaction that has come by constant rubbing or itching, on the lid margins. So there is a certain ointment that will help. It's an antibiotic steroid combination, but I cannot prescribe it orally like this. That
Yeah,
is
yeah, they have to get their local doctor to see.
There is an eye ointment that will help. You can apply the ointment locally or at home. The best thing you can do is apply ghee. Ghee hota hai na? That means
Ghee, okay.
The ghee. That is the best thing. Just apply it on the lid, not inside the eye.
Yes. Okay, then now here is
Or a moisturizer. Sorry, or a moisturizer may help.
And they've just said, I've given the doctor's prescription for your reference. Now we don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. 624 is the vision. So she is 10 years old. Okay. Sure. So this is a case of hyperopia. That means plus number with a cylindrical number. But the 624 is the visual acuity at 10 years of age. That means she has a mild to moderate lazy eye. By that I mean that even with wearing the glasses, she is unable to read up to the last line. So you have to put her on patching, put her on 4 hours alternate eye patching every day. That means 4 hours, right eye closed today with a cloth or something, pirate patch, and the glasses come on top of the patch. Today you close the right eye, tomorrow you close the left eye. Continue this alternately for at least 2 months and 4 hours a day. And that will help.
Yes. So my daughter, 8-year-old, has normal vision, which was checked by eye specialist. But when she reads the right, she bends very closely to the book and does not maintain distance. I think the same question she answered before.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sandhya Krishnamurthy wants to know my question about vision in adults with Down syndrome. My daughter is 30 years old. I have motivated her to take photographs while on her walks. But she is not able to look up to the sky and capture photos, though she loves to when it is clear one with clouds or the setting sun or rising moon. Nor is comfortable to look down even from the first floor. Why is this focusing difficult? How to help them? Also, I find many not able to actually read. They are not happy doing it on their own. At times, I feel they do it because their parents insist and compel them. Is it a problem with their vision? Does vision deteriorate at an early age in Down syndrome? If so, how early?
Yes. So the cataracts are fairly common after about 25, 28 years of age or 30 years of age. You want to rule out a cataract because many of the Down syndrome people can have early cataract. So that is the first thing we need to do. Second, if the person has a squint or has had nystagmus or the squint itself, if the alignment is not proper, then the focusing is never going to be good. Like I mentioned and tried to explain, the perception or depth perception or binocular vision doesn't develop. And that is why all of this problem looking up or looking down, this depth perception becomes a problem, and that is so even normal glasses can help these kids. So just rule out whether your daughter needs the spectacle correction and rule out a cataract, please.
Yes. Thank you. I'm getting Anupama's eyesight checked every now and then. She's 36 years of age. She does not respond well to the doctor when checks her sight. Therefore, they prescribe glasses as per machine readings. But it has been very difficult for us to see that she wears her glass continuously. Will there be further deterioration in her sight in future?
So the machine cannot be conclusive. So every time, it's not that every time the machine will be correct. So it has to be checked manually. And so at our center in Pune, at HV Desai Eye Hospital, we do not depend on the machine per se. That means the machine doesn't rule. It may give us an idea. 80-90% of these children will not be cooperative on machines either. So like I said, we check with our retinoscopes and manually while we are playing with them and having fun, and that is more accurate. So if the number is accurate, the children will be comfortable wearing glasses. But if there is some error which is not purposeful, but because the machine cannot be perfect, so try and probably get that done.
Yes, sir. Just a few more, sir.
Sure.
My
No
daughter
problem.
is 13.8 years. She has high number in both eyes, always reads book, anything very closely. And as you see, this is a problem which everybody is seeing very closely.
Yeah.
When I discussed here with the eye doctor, they told she can read, but she is not doing because now she is habitual of reading closely. So what should I do? I'm continuously saying keep a distance, but she always reads closely. One more thing I want to ask you is, can we do her eyes operation after 18 years? Which typical people do after 18 years? Can we go through this process with our children? Because I was thinking if it was done, then maybe she can get rid of those specs and all this. But there's one eye doctor denied for operation. You were saying that eye operation we cannot do with these children. Is it so?
Right. So I'll answer the second question first.
Yes, sir.
So it is not advisable to go in for a laser surgery for Down syndrome because the children have a very lifelong habit of rubbing their eyes. And since there is a flap that is there on the cornea, the laser deals with a flap, and that flap is put back, repositioned. So in children who are constantly going to rub their eyes, it is very dangerous. That is why a laser cannot be done. Instead, it is better to stick with the spectacles, safest. Now, part one of the question was, what was it? Because now she's reading closely and all. Vision therapy. Try and give her vision therapy, what I explained earlier. So all of those apps on the, vision therapy apps on your cell phones, or the VTS, if you have access to that, vision therapy software, all of these things will be very helpful.
Yes. And so sometimes my daughter could not open her eyes while walking or any other activities. Even when she does not feel sleepy, we use to add tears eye drop for her to avoid it. Is that a problem?
So add tears is a fine lubricating eye drop. It has no side effects. You can put it for her. Now we have to go into more details to find out why she's not opening her eyes properly. So is it a diplopia? That does she see double? Is there problem of looking into the light? That means the sun's light, or is there something like suppression or what squint? A lot of things need to be ruled out. So, or is there a refractive error? Cylindrical numbers. Like I said, one of the complaints was the child looks from the left or from the right. So a lot of evaluation needs to be done for that. But till then you can continue with the add tears, but get a detailed evaluation done, please.
Yes, sir. And risk of retinal detachment is the same as normal persons or more?
Same, not extra at all. It's the same.
The same, sir.
Yes.
So how much should be screen time for a 3-year baby and a 12-year-old? Because they said watching lunch and dinner time for 10 minutes, or if not, how to reduce it. Screen time.
So this was a question I was expecting. I think very, So nowadays every child is in front of the screen, either for entertainment or for online classes or for assignments or whatever. So yes, we are seeing even 1-year-old children are being shown the tabs and the screen so that they eat. That is not exactly a good habit to have inculcated in a child, because the child will never be looking at the food or concentrating on the food, which is very important. But that is a different point. 10 minutes, 15 minutes is absolutely no problem. Just ensure that it is not very close to the eyes. There should be a proper distance that is maintained, at least about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet from the child. So have it at a distance, not very close. Like I said, the screen resolution and illumination, the backlight illumination should not be very bright. If you can do that, and then 10 to 15 minutes, then you can take a break for half an hour, again 10 minutes, again take a break. So for a 3-year-old, about an hour and a half in a day, maximum 2 hours in a day, split up, not together.
Yes,
For a
sir.
12-year-old, you can maybe multiply it by 2. So 4 hours a day in breaks. Ideal screen time is not more than 4 hours at any age.
Yes, sir. So that's also some people who asked with their children are scared from closing their eyes while bathing or sleeping and in dark places. So is there anything?
Scared of closing their eyes.
Scared of closing the eyes. Closing
When
the eyes while bathing or sleeping in dark places.
Oh, no, that you just need to encourage the child, give more confidence. That is more of you need to talk to the child. That's not
More
the
a
problem.
psychological issue, I think.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old son undergone cataract surgery. Whenever I wash his hair, he gets teary eyes for about 1 to 2 hours. What to do? Teary eyes.
So if the cataract surgery, I'm presuming the cataract surgery was done quite long back.
Hello.
So if the
Yes.
Sir, I'm here to discuss this issue. It's actually related to my son's question. So my son has undergone through the cataract surgery for both the eyes at the age of around 3, one initially and the later one the second later on. And
Okay.
right now, whenever I wash his hair, for that some time he gets the teary eyes. मतलब आंसू आते रहते हैं उसकी आंख से थोड़ी देर के लिए. And around 1-2 घंटे के बाद वो ठीक हो जाता है. मतलब मुझे लगा शायद शैम्पू का इशू है. I changed the shampoo also, but still the issue is pertaining. हो रहा है अभी भी उसको.
Right. So this is not related to the cataract surgery at all, because
Okay.
the surgery was at least 3 years old. 3 years ago.
Yes.
Right. So it is most probably related to a certain allergic conjunctivitis, or normally a lot of children have allergies, not just
Right.
drums, so many normal kids
Yes.
also. So it is just an allergy that a couple of eye drops for 15 days will take care of,
Okay.
And just ensure that the water is not entering directly into the eyes. That is all you need to ensure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir,
Anti-allergic eye drop will help. And
Okay. So
along
may I
with the-
ask one more question?
yes.
So उसका जो है ना जब when he is looking at something, he has a little bit higher power on his left eye and right में power कम है. And
How much is it?
वो it's around 10 plus 10 something, 11
Plus-
point something. हाँ,
Please,
yes sir.
Lens has not been put.
Lenses जब सर्जरी हुआ था तब तो प्लेन डाला था, कोई
हाँ.
पावर का नहीं डाला था. And अभी उसको glasses दिया हुआ है. He is wearing the glasses. And जब वो जैसे देखता है ना तो वो हल्का सा थोड़ा साइड से देखने की कोशिश करता है.
Correct. So he needs to, you can go in for a secondary lens implantation. That means if the lens was not implanted inside the eyes at the time of surgery,
Yeah.
then those lenses need to be implanted so that this plus number goes down, and that will help.
Okay. So is there any specific age कि उस टाइम पे ही ये lenses implant करने हैं?
And that can be done at 2. It should have been done at 3 years of age itself, and the first surgery. It could have been done. We implant lenses after 1 year of age.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Very safe.
Okay.
Very safe. Huh?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Sir, there are several people who have asked this question about the eyelids being open. Eyelids being open even while they sleep.
Correct.
So is there a treatment for that?
No, there isn't, because this is a certain problem that is there with the alignment of the eyelids.
Okay.
So that
Right.
really nothing needs to be done for that. No, can't be done.
Yes, sir.
It will not have any harmful effect either.
And my daughter has had a cornea replacement done for both eyes 6 years before. She's continuing medication drops. It will be continued for lifetime after corneal replacement.
No, it won't be needed for a lifetime. But generally, drops are needed for at least for a year or year and a half after surgery for a cornea replacement. After that, it won't be needed.
Yes, sir. So the other thing is this tearing in the eye, when they watering in the eye. That's all. A number of people have asked about watering in the eye when they're watching TV or mobile.
Correct. So that is either related to some need for spectacles, which is putting eye strain on the eyes, because since the image is not clear, they put stress on the eyes, and that brings watering. So first you need to ensure that and see that there is a proper lighting in the room. It should not be very bright or very dark. All
Yes.
of that needs to be seen and not too close.
Yes, sir. And also during patching therapy, can
Yes.
the child watch TV and what should be the minimum duration of patching?
Yes, you can watch TV, but like I said, not for too long. So
Yes.
maybe half an hour is longest, 15, 20 minutes to half an hour, and then you can take breaks. So if suppose a patching has been advised for 2 hours, you cannot do patching. Child should not be watching TV for 2 hours.
Yes.
Half an hour can be a TV watching, but rest should be an activity for near. So it could be something that the child likes to do, an activity, you know.
So for any child, you would look at using iPad. Does looking at iPad or computer has a negative impact on maybe on vision if there's a spherical power of 15 or
Yes, it can accelerate the increase in the number if the number of if the duration is too long. But
Yes.
like I said, if we can do it in you just split it up and not about 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours in a day total. Okay, nothing happens.
Yes, sir. And there's another interesting question, sir. Do all children with Down syndrome have eye problem? Or chances are there some children without eye problem at all?
Oh,
In Down?
100%. Definitely, there are at least 40 to 45% of children with Downs who do not have any eye problems.
Good to know that, sir.
Yes.
Very
Sure.
good.
Hmm?
Can you speak up a little bit?
So, yeah. So the other thing is right now 6 months old eyes are completely fine. And is it possible cataract to occur in the future? So for Down syndrome, does cataract occur earlier or does it can occur?
Yeah. So cataract is not a super common thing in children with Down. So do not wait for it or do not panic. Nothing is going to happen. It is there in about 8 to 10% of children with Downs. So don't worry and don't constantly think that a cataract is going to come. Yes, the cataract can happen earlier in life, maybe at age 30 or 35, but the treatment is 100% possible. Surgeries are excellent. Don't worry about it.
Yes, sir. So actually, at what age do children with Down syndrome should have an eye checkup? From what age?
Yeah. So that this one was there. No, my slide was there. The schedule.
Yes.
So we have to have our first preliminary check before 6 weeks of age, where you want to rule out a cataract, basically. After that, between 6 months and 2 years of age, you have to have a more detailed check. So you look for quality of fixation, you look for squint, and you look for whether there is too much of a number. All of
Yes.
that happens before 2 years of age. And then every 6 months, 8 months, then yearly. So that is the sort of a schedule that we follow.
Yes, sir. So some people have asked that they're after wearing spectacles also, they are not able to follow the dots, are able to overshoot the writing and start before the line. Even after wearing spectacles, they are not able to focus.
Right. So the visual system is quite a complex system. It starts in the eye, but continues and ends in the brain. So all of this system and cognitive function, the the cortex, occipital cortex, all of this tract should be normal or near normal in order to have a normal functioning. So we know that once the signal goes to the brain gives an order for the hands to write or all of that, between two lines and all. So all of this needs to be in order, on order. So it's not just an eye problem, the whole connection with the brain,
Yes,
so
sir.
it goes right up to there.
To give you a small break from the question, sir. Somebody, Dr. Lalita Joshi from Nepal has said, wonderful presentation, simple to understand for all eye issues in ground state, crystal clear, many thanks. So
Thank you.
I think this is uniform across everybody. It's been
Oh, great.
absolutely wonderful so far. Just a
Great.
few more, sir.
Sure.
While doing an ophthalmology check to decide the number of vision for a child, as a child couldn't read, they check with some pictures and decide. How far is it accurate? Or any other member decide the number in an accurate way?
So what I understood from the question was that vision was checked by showing some pictures.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those are the same vision charts that I mentioned in my talk. and they are very effective, very, they will not be as accurate as the Snellen's visual acuity chart, but it gives us a very good estimate of poor vision if it is there. What we need to rule out at that age is that the child should not be having poor vision. For that, these color charts or shapes are very important and they help. So they are absolutely authentic. Don't worry about it.
Yes, sir. So now the thing is, if somebody has a spherical 11.5, cylindrical 1.25, also nystagmus, what all precautions should be taken? The eye power shouldn't decrease. Can somebody take any precautions to prevent eye power from increasing?
There isn't much that we can do. One
Yes.
thing, the recent studies, what they're saying is, with too much use of gadgets, so too much use of gadgets close up, the number is accelerating at a very shocking speed.
Yes, sir.
That is the first.
Is there any specialized center for vision therapy in Bangalore?
Any specialized vision therapy center in Bangalore?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't really know, but I think Narayan Netralaya has a good setup in Bangalore. Narayan
Okay,
Netralaya.
thank you.
So you can explore that.
Thanks, sir. And my daughter had nystagmus in the left eye, so doctor suggested patch therapy. She has watery eyes. We have answered all that. We are concerned. Another doctor who told us not to do anything at the time, as it heals sometimes naturally. We are confused what to believe. Please suggest. Also, the inner corner of both eyes looks to be under the nose, for which surgery is suggested. Kindly guide accordingly.
So this is the typical epicanthal folds that we were talking about.
Yes.
Can you please tell me what age this child is?
3 years old, sir. 3 years old.
Yes. Don't do anything. Just wait. The thing, it will resolve on its own. Don't do anything.
Yes, sir. So the one more person has asked for age 35. He does not focus on objects. Unable to teach him even to put on dress, wrong side, or so many small things. How to get rid of this?
Very difficult for me to understand the exact problem because there are many reasons for which the focus can be poor at age 35.
I
So
think
again, you have to go through the whole examination.
Yes,
Till
sir.
then, I don't think I'll be able to answer that. But look for numbers, look for a cataract. All of these things will be
Yes.
important.
Actually, this tearing and nystagmus, lots of people have asked the same question about tearing and nystagmus.
Correct.
You've already answered, I think.
But nystagmus here, let me just again stress that nystagmus should not be ignored because there is something else going on behind the screen. That is why there is a nystagmus. So nystagmus is not the problem. The problem is something else which is giving rise to the nystagmus. So if we can identify that, and generally it is poor vision. So poor vision related to, that is the amblyopia, which is related to either a refractive error, that means glasses, or whatever else reason is there. You take care of that reason, then nystagmus reduces. And if needed, we can always operate nystagmus, always. Okay?
नहीं करते मेरी माँ.
Yes, sir. But sir, for a 13-year-old boy, working the closest eyes very small to look at the small size words, like in a regular book. So,
Right. First thing you have to look at is whether the child has minus number, because with a minus number, the child is always going to make his eyes small in order to clarify. Myopia means I close my eyes. Myopia, I close my eyes in order to make the image clear. So look at that, the problem will be solved.
yes. So I think the other thing is somebody wants to know how they can recognize that child needs specs. How do I recognize my child actually needs specs?
Sure. So there was one slide in my presentation exactly with this question. So there are definite signs. The child would probably be going very close to the TV or going very close to every gadget that he is looking at, or he will try and make screwing, try and screw his eyelids together, make them small, like we just mentioned, or he will try and tilt his head to make this thing focus clear. So maybe this side or that side, either side, he will try and tilt or have a head turn or a tilt. That all of these signs are signs of need for glasses.
Yes, sir. And
or rubbing of very commonly they keep rubbing.
yes. So do you believe that this eyesight problem can actually change the behavior of a child?
100% at any age, in any person, if you cannot see properly, your vision, your behavior is going to be totally changed. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And as soon as the vision clarifies, the total person changes. And this applies. So, for example, we see adult patients of 40, of 70, 80 years who come with cataracts. Some of them, those parents are neglected parents by their kids. So we operate them, and suddenly the life is beautiful again for them. So it applies to everyone, not just to these kids.
Yes, sir.
Definitely has an impact.
Do children with Down syndrome have drooping of the eyelids? Like,
Uncommon.
is that a problem? It's uncommon because
It's
there's
very-
somebody who's asked that my daughter could not open her eyes while walking or any other activities, even
that
though
is-
she does not feel sleepy.
So drooping is different, and unable to open is different.
Ah,
So these
Yes.
are two different things. Unable to open.
unable to open. Unable to open.
No, that again, like I said, we have to look for what is the reason for that. Is there an irritation? Is there an allergy? Is there, what is the problem? Or is there a sensitivity to light, photophobia?
Yes, sir.
Can be many things, but it can all be resolved. So get a good examination done.
Yes, sir. So when dust falls on the eye, do they have? He says the child does not have much sense when dust falls on the eye. They're not able to feel the dust falling.
That is so no, that is not a very common happening. Kids are very sensitive, in fact,
Ah,
because so that won't be a very common happening. No.
okay, good. Okay, good. So somebody having a spherical eye, spherical error, is it permanent? Is it
Is it-
permanent? Spherical aberration.
So plus numbers of about +2, +3, +4, plus numbers will generally go on reducing, not increasing. Whereas minus numbers, spherical, will always increase. They will never decrease.
Yes, sir. So myopia will have acceleration, you feel.
Yes, myopia will always have acceleration.
That's what
And in order not to have a very radical acceleration, we have to keep our gadget exposure or screen time to a minimum. We cannot say that you cannot watch the tab or you cannot play on the cell phone. Let them play. Give them good games to play. Something that is interesting, something that will incite or stimulate their thinking as well as their vision. Because the reflexes have to be very fast to play, maybe a Subway Surfers or whatever. Some
Yes,
kids are superb at that, believe me. But have a time limit, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And you can make that a game. Okay, your time is up. Have a buzzer. Make it a game for them. They will cooperate like anything. Make their life a super fun game. They'll be the best players. Trust me.
yes, sir.
Make it a lovely game that they enjoy. Don't make it a disciplinarian sort of a drab story. Ab nahi kar sakte, don't do this. How can you do this? Don't do that. Make it a game. I know easier said than done, but try and make it interesting for these kids. They'll be your best partners in the game. Believe me.
And then Tenas has said this vision treatment center, there's a hospital called Shankara Hospital in Bangalore, just for information. And then somebody has asked his 8-year-old child, can they implant lens in his eyes or specs is better?
No, for 8 years, are you talking about? So there are two, you're talking about contact lens implantation. That's not an implantation. That means contact lens inserting in
Yes.
the morning, and you can remove them in the evening, again, put them in the next morning and remove. That is not a very good idea at age 8, because again, if the child, generally these kids rub their eyes quite a lot.
Yes.
So you don't want the contact lens rubbing the cornea and giving rise to some complication.
Yes, sir.
Like corneal ulcer. Now they're saying by operating.
Yes, sir. No, the use of glasses should not be done for my 3-year-old daughter. Without glasses, will her eyesight become weaker?
I'm sorry. No, I saw a pop-up by with the lady said that by operating can a lens be implanted.
Yeah,
A
yes,
lens
yes, yes,
only if there is a cataract present,
yes,
not
हेलो
casually.
yes.
Yes.
हाँ सर मैं बोल सकती हूँ
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ हाँ सर वो ना मेरे बेटे 8 इयर्स का है वो ना लेंस मतलब ये चश्मा लगाना नहीं चाहता है सर बहुत मुश्किल से उसे कह के लगवाना पड़ता है कि तुम्हें ये देंगे ये लगा लो तुम्हें ये तुम्हारा टीवी प्रोग्राम ये लगाएंगे ये लगा लो कह के मतलब बीच बीच में ना वो कई बार चश्मे भी ब्रेक कर चुका है सर प्लास्टिक फ्रेम्स के फिर हमने
Yeah.
लास्ट में भी इसका रबड़ फ्रेम का लगाया जो बैक साइड से जो आपने बताया था वेलक्रो ये उसके थ्रू रहता है वो लगाया हुआ है तो समटाइम्स वो केवल म्यूजिक का शौकीन है तो म्यूजिक केवल सुनना पसंद करता है देखना नहीं चाहता फिर भी वो
तो वीडियोस लगाइए म्यूजिक के अच्छे अच्छे.
हाँ सर लगाते हैं बट वो ना देखना नहीं चाहता तो अभी आपका ही सुन के मुझे लगा कि क्या आगे चल के इनके लिए क्या हम लोग क्या ऑपरेट करवा सकते हैं इनके आईज को जैसे कि चश्मे की नीड ही न रहे.
नहीं प्रियंका जी वो एडवाइजेबल नहीं है बिकॉज अगर कॉम्प्लिकेशन हो सकता है अगर उन्होंने आंखें रब किए ना मसले
जी
तो वो अलग ही कॉम्प्लिकेशन हो सकता है आईसाइट जा सकती है
ओ
ना. तो वी डोंट वांट दैट कॉम्प्लिकेशन. उससे अच्छा है
स्पेक्स ही लगाया जाए.
हाँ अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट इज द ओनली थिंग. लेजर भी नहीं करना है और ऑपरेशन बिना विदाउट नीड आंख को हाथ ही नहीं लगाना है हमें.
ओके 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 थैंक यू.
तो थोड़ा एडजस्ट करके आपको खिला पिला के ही करना है उसको.
अच्छा
Sir,
ओके सर.
is there a vision therapy app or software, sir?
There are so
many on Google, which is the
yes,
best?
there are so many. Just go to the Google Play Store or your on Android or your Apple thing. Superb. There are just put in vision therapy apps. You'll have a number of them.
Yes, sir. So, when there's a decrease in positive number, can one eye squint? Can it go? My daughter +4 and +6 number with squintness in the left eye. Can the squint go away?
So what happens is when there is a plus number like a +4 and a +6, and so it's called a refractive esotropia. That means the convergent squint is because of the plus number. And when the child wears the plus number, most of the times this squint is not visible. But when she removes the glasses, again the squint will be visible. In such a case, it is not advisable to remove to reduce the number. And naturally, +4, +6 will not go totally. Maybe it will reduce by 1 diopter or 1.5 diopters. This number doesn't go totally. Up to 2 and 3, like I said, plus it can go. Beyond that, it generally doesn't go.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think we have exhausted all the questions.
Fantastic.
You've
Sir,
been extraordinarily patient.
sorry for interrupting, sir.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting, sir.
Hello.
Sir, the previous question was mine that +4, +6, like my daughter is having, and squinters in left eye. So, like, I just wanted to know, okay, the power will not go down, but whether squintness will go.
So generally what happens is if you are sure that the squint is only in the left eye,
Yeah.
that means the vision in the left eye is slightly poorer than the vision in the right eye.
Okay.
So first and foremost, you need to do patching. You cover the better eye at least for 2 hours a day. What is the age of your child?
She is 6 years old.
So up to 2 hours, 3 hours in a day also, just cover the better eye, which is the right eye, with
Okay.
a patch. So you
Okay.
get either you get ready-made patches or you can make a patch of soft cloth. Huh?
Okay.
Use the right eye. Under say, chashma should come on top of the patch. Do the
Okay.
patching for the right eye. Improve the vision of the left eye. That means the +6 wala eye.
Huh.
Once that vision goes up, the squint will go down.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Sure.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you see, I'm Anupama's dad, Sumant here. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Go
Hello.
ahead. Go ahead. We are hearing you.
Yeah. You see, my daughter is having a -3.5 spherical in both eyes, and in left eye she has -1, And this is all, based on the computer results. They have not been able to check, as I have already explained to the doctor. Is it going to, affect her in the near future? And what is the app, any particular app you recommend?
No, there isn't any particular app because there are a number of apps. So you can just explore whatever your child likes, you can start using. But what is her age again? I forgot the age.
36 years, doctor.
Achha, nahi, you
36
can
years.
get the number done at an authentic place because it is important.
MM Joshi brilliant here.
Dr. MM Joshi is we have in Hubli. I'm placed in Hubli. He is. They are checking her numbers, but the problem is she is not able to respond to the doctors properly, and that's how they.
Like I said, in children with special needs, we do not expect the children to respond to us.
Yeah.
So at our center, we do not depend on the children.
Yeah, that's it.
We will calculate and we will be sure that this is the number, that this is not going to be the wrong number, and the child is not going to become miserable after we give glasses. So it is the doctor's responsibility, not the child's responsibility.
My question is, if these numbers are not okay, whether it will affect her vision in the future?
Yes, if the number is not okay, she will get undue strain and pain, and she will never wear glasses, and that will be deleterious to her. That will not be good for her. Correct?
So,
Correct number has to be given. Wrong number will make things miserable for her.
Yes, sir. So Tanas has said, well said, adapt.
Sir, Suresh, sir, I have one question, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Doctor, after having heard all of this, my daughter is a classic case of everything that happens with the eye. She was born with cataract, surgery done by Dr. Badrinath Shankar Netralia, 3rd week, 4th week. She also developed what was called glaucoma and surgery done. Then she also had a surgery for iridectomy. We had to travel every fortnight to Bombay for putting the contact lenses, because at that time, contact lenses for pediatric contact lenses, there was no one to help us in Chennai.
Sure.
And she swallowed, or she removed 14 pairs. And then we went to Mass General, where they told us to give her glasses so that she does not necessarily be infected with the lenses.
Exactly.
Now, she was very happy with the glasses. I only have one question, sir. Do you think that there was some stage in her life where we could have implanted the lenses because she was born with the cataract? Because we got a call from overseas saying that at 18, you can definitely implant lenses. But the people around advised us that when you do the cataract, you visualize the whole world through your glasses in a different way. And for a person with Down syndrome, they said she might not be able to adapt 100% vision if you implant the lenses at 18. So we were in a dilemma.
At 18 years?
Yes, sir. My daughter now is 40.
Okay.
So we skipped the bus. But when people come to us and ask us, can we implant the lenses? What is the right age to advise them to actually implant lenses after a cataract?
Fantastic. So I think I should thank you for this excellent question, ma'am. And did we meet in Pune?
Yes, sir, we did. Because my daughter is a classic example of anything to do with vision.
I think we met. We met.
We did.
Right?
Yes.
Mrs. Kapoor, is it?
No, she is the boss.
Ramachandran. I am the president of the federation, sir.
Okay, I think, yeah. So 100% we met, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the implantation of the lenses, it depends on the size of the cornea, horizontal size of the cornea. If the size of the cornea is near normal, That means 10 millimeters and above. At age of 1 year also, we will implant a lens. Bottom line. Only in less than 1 years, we are extra careful about implanting the lenses. If the child, even in those situations, if the child has a cataract only in one eye, we implant lenses at even 3 months of age. Okay. So not implanting a lens at the age of 18 years can have only one basis. That is, one was the glaucoma, and the second contraindication would have been a horizontal corneal diameter less than 10 mm. There isn't a third reason why lens should not be implanted. So even in a case of glaucoma, with a little bit, so iridectomy was done, but at age 18, we can do trabeculectomy as well. That means a glaucoma surgery and implant a lens, and the child will be benefited. The intraocular lens implantation is the single most important thing that is important, that is of relevance after cataract removal. Without lens implantation, just with +10 and +12 glasses, the child is never going to get that field of vision or the correct size of image. So the child has many problems.
So today it is feasible.
100%. Oh,
What
100%.
was maybe 40 years ago, it might not have been in the frame.
Correct. 40 years ago, probably the lenses were also not that advanced.
Yeah.
The machinery was not that advanced. Nowadays, we have vitrectomies of the highest quality. We know exactly what is going to cause glaucoma, if at all, because any pediatric cataract surgery can give rise to glaucoma, even today, any.
Okay.
So we know what we can do to try and avoid it. We cannot say we will avoid it, but we know what we can try and do. Like it's called a vitrectomy, in order to prevent the thrust and try and prevent the rise in pressure afterwards.
Okay.
We do this vitrectomy, which was not there at that time.
Right. So actually, the eye comes to its final growth stage at which age?
So almost 80% of the growth is completed by 1 year of age.
1 year. Okay. Okay.
And 100% by 2 years, almost 100%. Growth continues till 17, 18 years of age, but up to 90, 92% of growth is complete by 2 years of age.
So we are now doing intraocular lenses quite easily.
Very easily, very, very easily. It is a routine.
Okay. So at birth, if we do it, then we wait till 1 year and then put the intraocular lenses. Okay.
Correct. No. No. If the cataract is there at birth, we do not wait till 1 year of age for surgery.
No, I know, but you do the surgery at the earliest.
We
But for
operate
the
2 months. We operate at 2 months of age.
okay,
That time, if the cataract is in both eyes, we will not implant the lens.
okay,
We will give spectacles or contact lenses to the child.
right,
More commonly, spectacles in our Indian settings.
right.
And then after 1.5 years of age, we implant the lens.
Okay. So it will be another surgery?
Yes, ma'am. 100%.
Thank you for clearing my doubts, and thank you so much, because I get parents every day asking us the same questions, and you have given us such an eye-opener. I am talking on behalf of the entire federation, and
Lovely.
thank you so much. Honestly, we are now very clear about our own vision, and I'll ask Dr. Suresh to take over.
Yes, sir, last question, sir. Last question. Can eye surgery reduce the squint? Can eye surgery reduce eye power and squint?
Can eye surgery reduce eye power?
And squint.
Okay, so again, these are two different things,
Yes.
We have laser surgeries for reducing or taking away the numbers altogether, which cannot be done before 19, 20 years of age.
Yes, sir.
For that, the child or the person has to be super cooperative.
Yes,
Cannot
sir.
go ahead and keep rubbing the eyes, because that will devastate the eye. So that is not done.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If certain children are very understanding and they will understand that you cannot rub the eyes, sure, you can go ahead and do it, but not before 19 or 20 years of age. The
Yes.
squint surgery needs to be done for any child before 6 years of age. Like I said, if we have to give them benefit of depth perception.
Yeah.
Otherwise, after that, it just becomes a cosmetic surgery. And squint surgery has a 100% result. 100%.
Sir, this question about when dust falls in the eye, the child not being able to feel it. You answered that generally the eyes are very sensitive. And
Yes.
this is is there any reason for that, sir? Not able to feel.
So corneal sensations, the cornea is very sensitive. For example, if we take a cotton wick and we just touch, we do that as a test. We take a cotton wick and touch the cornea when the person doesn't know, and immediately the person will blink. It's so
Yes.
sensitive.
Yes.
So if the dust is going into the eyes and the person is not able to realize that, then there is something wrong.
Yes.
Commonest is old viral keratitis. So if there has been an episode of viral keratitis,
Okay.
that takes away the corneal sensation. So again, history examination needs to be done.
Yes, sir. Sir, also the your hospital contact number, sir. Somebody wants, they want to come and show it to you and show the child in Pune.
Sure. So it is 020
020
2697
2697
0043.
0043. Thank
Sir,
you.
we put it up on with the federation. We'll put it up on all the WhatsApp groups.
Please do that.
Very good.
And you can share my cell phone number also. I don't
Yes.
have any problem.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
So, sir, we have a feedback saying that this has been an eye-opening session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have been extraordinarily patient, sir. 2 hours. You have made your presentation very crisp and short and given lots of time for questions.
That was what I
I don't
intended.
think we left out any questions, sir. All questions were answered.
I'm glad.
And we had about 60 people here, and also on Facebook Live, lot more people had joined. And we had
Great.
questions from there also.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yes,
Now, I
sir.
would just like to, I would like to thank all of you here. I would like to thank Mrs. Ramachandran, the whole team, for organizing such a brilliant online webinar, because I know this cause is very, very important, and I really feel for this cause. So anything that can be done from our side, from HV Desai Eye Hospital, from myself, please feel free. We are always there for you. From anywhere in the country, we are there for you. We are amongst the best. I don't want to sound arrogant, but we are very good at what we do. You can come to us anytime, and my number will be shared with you. You can WhatsApp me. If I don't answer calls, it is only because I'm with a patient or I'm operating. I'll always reply to all WhatsApp messages. Feel free. Please don't hesitate. I thank all of you. I think it's been a privilege to be with all of you here. Thank you for your patient listening. And I hope that this was helpful. And I sincerely hope that it will benefit all of our children. Thank you so much again.
Yes, sir. I learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Thank you,
Bye.
sir. Thank you both so much. Thank you.
Bye. All of you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Dr. Nikhil. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so
Have
much.
a good day.
You too.
Thank you, sir. See you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.